So we're in a holding pattern with Trent Williams and the Vikings. And it feels like that meme, with the stick, trying to poke the Vikings logo. Do stuff. Do something. So the latest on the Vikings potentially landing all-pro, all-world left tackle Trent Williams from Washington. John Keim, ESPN, reported that Washington is reportedly looking for a 2. So to that I said bully for them. And I know in our videos in the comment section, some of the Washington fans have been like, we want multiple 1s and 2s. Good luck with all that, man. Like, your leverage ship has sailed. It is gone. Should have traded him last year before the trade deadline. Probably would have gotten a 1 in that spot. But now, I mean, as closer and closer as it gets to the draft, I feel like Washington is losing more and more leverage. And if it gets past the draft, it's done. It's finito. Because, what is the point of giving up a future draft capital that you can't use this year if you're Washington? So I really don't get it. Williams is not afraid to sit, even though, 2 years without an NFL paycheck, maybe. But also, Williams could eventually, if he really wanted to press the issue, and he's been really great about it so far, as his agent pointed out. Hasn't said a word, hasn't said a peep, hasn't badmouthed anything. But as we've seen recently with Stephon Diggs, with Antonio Brown, there are ways to push yourself out of town. Like, you can become a little bit toxic in social media and then sort of get that way. I'm sure he has a couple of stories about skeletons in Washington's closet. There's a couple, right? So Washington, for their part, they couldn't want a 2 until they're blue in the face. I don't think that they're going to get it. And the fact that they've been so obstinate about it, and it could be Daniel Snyder. It could have been Bruce Allen last year when they were playing hardball with him, but of course Bruce Allen is gone. So maybe a new regime will eventually just be like, all right, let's just get what we can and move on. But if they are full on having a hard on for that too, they may have to wait until the draft. And so, like we said previously, this thing may drag out all month until it gets to the draft. And also, if it gets into next season, if you're trying to flip them mid-season and Washington fans are just watching Haskins die behind a makeshift offensive line yet again, maybe not. Maybe there will be public outrage about it. So right now, the most I would give for Trent Williams is a 3. Like, I actually think that the trade compensation that Washington gets is going to be surprisingly low. I won't be shocked if it is a 3, maybe even like a high 4. But you're like, oh, what about competition? What about other people bidding up the price? Well, apparently, the Vikings' numero uno competition for Trent Williams is the goddamn Jets. Yeah, and you know what? If they want to give up their second-round pick, number 48 overall, bully on them. Good on you. The Jets have had a history of just making really good big contract decisions. How's Jermaine Johnson working out? Really good? Great. Cool. So, speaking of money, so the second part about the Williams situation is that money. Now, the rumor is Trent Williams wants $20 million per year, which I call baloney on. Absolute baloney. His agent shot that down too. And when an agent shoots down getting his client more money, you know that is 100% false. And it's pretty easy to trace back the source of that rumor. That is Washington front office trying to make Trent Williams look unreasonable. It is the game, but also it's very transparent. He wants to be at 31 and a year out of football, the highest paid left tackle in the game by far, by the way. I don't see that. I do see $14-15 million a year to be more realistic. He was due to make $12.5 million this year, so a little bit of a raise, a little bit keeping up with inflation, a little bit of COLA, cost of living adjustment, if you were. That does make more sense. Now, the Vikings, they can make it work because, of course, cap is a myth. Vikings currently have $13.12 million in cap space via over the cap. Now, I'm not sure if that includes Rashad Hill, if that includes Dakota Dozier and Brett Jones, but also they're on minimal deals, so it doesn't really matter. But they would free up $8.8 million by cutting or trading Riley Reif. So the Vikings can afford Trent Williams, make it a 2 to 3 year deal. Make it a small cap hit in 2020, just like they did with Michael Pierce, just like they did last year with Anthony Barr, and then worry about the cap next year. You are kicking the can down the road, except the salary cap in 2021. There you go. So worry about it when you have much larger cap space to work with. And like I said, I think this may go all the way down to the draft, or this may go into the draft. If Washington really wants to play a hardball, and Vikings and the Jets say the first round goes by, they don't get one of the big 5 tackles, right? So they don't get Josh Jones or Andrew Thomas or Becton or Wills or Wirfs or whatever. Specifically, a couple of those guys who can play left tackle. So if they whiff, or say the Vikings go a different direction at 22-25 and they still want to be in the market for a left tackle, that interregnum between Thursday night, Friday night, day 1, day 2, just watch. I mean, lots of deals get done there. So I actually think if the Vikings don't land like an Andrew Thomas, which is probably unlikely, or a Mekhi Becton, which may be unlikely, or a Josh Jones, which I think will be in their wheelhouse, left tackles of the future, maybe they do go after Trent Williams. But frankly, if they land one of those three guys, I'm out on Trent Williams. Like you do have a young, up-and-coming rookie deal, a left tackle of the future, so I'd be like deuces. But say the Vikings go wide receiver, cornerback, and the big 5 tackles are off the board, then I would call up Washington and be like, so how about that 3? How about a 3 and a 6? How about that? Because of course we know Kirky, Trent Williams, #chemistry, and I think if you can get in a guy who, yes, at 31 can still play at a top 6 to 7 tackle in this league, I say bring it. I say absolutely bring it. But like I said, I would be shocked if something happens very quickly, like unless Washington is blown away with an offer, or they suddenly decide to settle and move on with things. Given their stubbornness with Trent Williams last year, I think this may go all the way down to the draft. So we'll get to speculate about it for 4 weeks. So that was fun. But your thoughts, latest on Trent Williams and the Vikings, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us up in the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.